Welcome to Dorkduo. We are the Dorks. I am Adam, and this is Steve. And this week we are talking Justice League, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and other nerdly news. And of course, the first thing we're going to talk about is those two trailers I just mentioned, because those are the biggest things that happened this week. And since Justice League came out at like 3 days before Spider-Man: Homecoming, I feel we should talk about Justice League first. So, Justice League trailer. I really liked it. I liked it more than I thought I was going to like it.
Those are the exact words I was going to use.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really happy that we agree on this because I'm scared to say this. I am. I'm about to say something that I am really scared to say, but I think I'm getting excited for Justice League. I think I am. I it looks good so far. It really and the trailer was getting me going. The music was great. And you know what I loved about this trailer more than anything else? I loved that it didn't spoil the entire movie. It gave us some cool action bits. It gave us it introduced us to all of the characters. It gave us some awesome moments like fucking Aquaman riding the Batmobile and all kinds of cool, that was awesome. And it showed us a little bit of the villains, but it didn't show us the main villain. It didn't show us Superman. It didn't show us, I don't know, fucking Darkseid coming out at the very end of the movie or something stupid. Oh, no
Yeah.
Doomsday in this one. To me, this was exactly what I wanted from this trailer. I was like, don't spoil a lot, make it awesome, have some funny lines. It hit every check mark. I was like, boom, boom, boom. Yes, 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 yes. I really liked it. What do you think?
Okay, well, first of all, I also agree that it was a good trailer. I don't want to say I'm excited because I will not allow myself that pleasure, but I will say that I'm more confident than I was before. If that's, I guess I
Sure,
can say that. I guess I can say
sure.
that. It
Yeah, come
doesn't
on, that's
seem
fair.
like it'll be a guaranteed failure. How does that sound?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay.
I
At
yeah.
any rate, I agree that it showed us exactly what we needed to see. Like the team being a team and some bad guys getting their shit rocked, but it didn't show us the bad guy, which we all know is there, but it didn't tell us he was there, so we don't know when he's going to show up. So that'll be
hmm
exciting. If, however, you're familiar with the new origins of the Justice League, you've already seen this movie because they already made an animated version of it.
I've actually
Just
seen
saying.
that animated movie. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
seen that.
because it's basically that. Not that there's
I
anything
mean,
wrong with that.
there's
I'm
a few
cool with that.
exceptions. I mean,
Well, okay.
the beginning of the animated movie didn't have Superman coming back from the dead or anything.
Well,
So
oh, I
there's
mean the nipples are
already
tweaked a bit, but it's
yeah.
basically the same premise. And
Yeah. No, you're
that
right.
also makes me more the thing I was the most excited about, which seems weird, but the thing I was most excited about was Aquaman because I was really worried with all the pictures and images we've gotten of Aquaman, he was gonna be like grisly and death to the surface dwellers or whatever. But
Yeah.
he seems to have the most levity of all the characters from what little we've seen of him. Maybe
No,
Flash will do it,
I
but
actually
which
maybe
I'm
maybe
so
Flash.
excited to see from him because this is actually going to be like brand new, freshly Aquaman to Aquaman, which is
Yeah.
cool because I'm hoping
I
we can still get him as a person, not as a grisly fish man bent on the protection of Atlantis and literally nothing else.
No, I agree with you. I thought that Aquaman was the MVP of the trailer for me. I
Yeah,
thought
I would agree with that.
Aquaman was really every time he was in the trailer, I was like, yes, I'm really liking this.
Hmm.
And Flash was great. I really everybody in the trailer was great. I thought Batman, Aquaman, blah 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 blah, except for one.
Was it
I'm
Wonder
still
Woman?
not. No, actually, I thought Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman was good for what we got. I mean, it was just I'm Wonder Woman. Here I am kicking ass. I mean,
Well, basically, yeah.
she didn't have any amazing moments or anything, but it wasn't bad. It's not like, I mean, she still looks great.
I also like how the Amazons were apparently in the movie. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. That actually is probably the only thing I'm a little bit worried about with, well, not the that's crazy. That's not the only thing I'm worried about with
No, it
this movie.
shouldn't be the only thing.
But that's one of the things, the thing that sticks in my mind right now that I'm kind of worried about is like we got images of the Flash and visiting his father in prison. We've got images of Cyborg before he was Cyborg, being a quarterback or whatever he was.
Yeah.
We got images of Amazons, we got images of freaking Atlanteans. Like I feel like this
We
movie
did get
might
some
be a little.
Atlanteans, didn't we? We got
We
Mira, I
did.
think.
Yeah, it was Mira, and she looked hot. But like I just feel like it might be a little bloated, and that was one of the issues with Batman v Superman is that it was trying to do too much at once, and I think that this movie might be that again. I mean,
Yeah.
of all the things that this movie could be, it being a little bloated isn't the worst thing ever.
Okay, so all
Movies.
right, I'm gonna offer you a quick fix to all of that right now. What I think this might be how they're gonna do it. I can't confirm, but this is how I
Right,
think
right,
they might
yeah.
be doing it. Um, Basically, what the majority of the second reel is gonna be is them fighting off the parademons and stuff, and then
Mm,
Darkseid's gonna come down and shit's gonna get real, and they're gonna be like, we don't have time for this, and then all of a sudden, the Atlanteans and the Amazons are going to show up and kill all the parademons, and that's going to be
mm.
the excuse why the Justice League can focus on Darkseid, because all the parademons are
It's
being
not, it just
occupied with
I
the
just gotta tell you,
Atlanteans and the
I just
yeah what
I just gotta tell you, it's not gonna be Darkseid in this movie. It's gonna be Steppenwolf. He's the big bad of this movie. Darkseid's
but
gonna
they
be in the next one.
but they got
I
parademons. I saw
I
them.
know. Apparently, Steppenwolf is going to be like a lieutenant of Darkseid.
Oh,
I think what they're going for here is this is that the attack that's going to happen in this movie is going to be like the first wave.
oh, it's
This
gonna be
is
like the
like
catalyst to the
yes,
okay.
yeah. It's like okay, here you go. Here's our the first battalion of our troopers, and it's going to rock their shit. They're going to win, but it's going to be hard
Yeah,
fought. And then
and
it's
then
just like
Superman will
okay,
come back so that they can have a fair fight against Darkseid. You're probably right.
yeah.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm thinking is gonna go down. They're going to barely win in this one, and then it's like okay, 10 times that is coming.
But
I
Superman's here, so it's
but
fine.
yeah, right. Yeah. But what I was going to say before I got kind of sidetracked is I'm liking everybody in the movie with one exception, and it isn't Wonder Woman. It is Cyborg. I'm not sold on Cyborg. I'm not, and I
I
want to
don't I
be.
don't feel either way about Cyborg because I don't really see enough of him to form an opinion.
I don't know. Okay. I'm judging purely on what few lines we got and his visual design. The lines we got, he was very serious, and I know that he is like that in the comics and and everything, and I understand that. But I can't help but compare it to Teen Titans,
Booyah.
which that's my only interaction with Cyborg really, other than like that Justice League movie you were talking about before.
Hmm.
Like that's really my main source of knowing who Cyborg is, and he's funny and engaging, and he has a lot of character and heart in Teen Titans, and he just doesn't in this. He just seems very boring, very straight laced, kind of like
Well,
you
he
should.
did just get turned into a cyborg moments ago, so
I
his
know.
life's a little flipped upside down right now. He can
I'm not.
booyah later.
Well, that's even then. Like, he doesn't even seem like he's that surprised by all of this. He looks like he's just like, yes, I am cyborg. You should probably move. Like, like, oh, yes,
Yeah.
Like, he just seems kind of boring. And
Honestly, that wasn't even the part of cyborg that bothered me.
oh, you didn't like the faceplate thing?
No, I hated the faceplate thing. That's exactly what
Really?
I was
I
gonna
thought that
say.
was cool. I liked that. To
They're
me,
trying to make him Iron Man. He's
dude,
not Iron Man though.
it's the only part of him that is flesh. It makes sense you would protect it.
I,
Like, I'm just,
well,
come
I
on.
guess, but I don't know. It just kind of bugged me when the only robot guy is very obviously trying to be Iron Man. Like he's
Yeah.
his own thing. It kind of bugs me when they do that, but
I
I'll
also
get over
didn't
it, I
like.
guess.
I just don't like his character design in general. I feel it's way too busy. There's too many sharp edges and like kind of like moving parts to his design. Like it's not awful. I'm not saying it's not like I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think of one, but it's not like the worst looking character I've ever seen. I just don't really like it. Like I'm just kind of, it's okay. It's okay. But that's not what I want. I want it to look awesome. Like I love the design of Batman. I think his bat suit and his cowl and basically everything, I think it looks great.
Hmm.
Wonder Woman looks great. Aquaman looks fucking fantastic. I love the kind of like detailed fish scale thing he's got
Hmm.
going on with his armor. I think that looks fantastic. The Flash I think is really cool. I didn't like it at first, but it's growing on me. I kind of like the weird looking, almost robotic look he has, but it still looks smooth at the same time.
Hmm.
I like it. I like his. I like everything. I like all of the characters and all of their designs except for Cyborg. Like he's the one that I'm just like, I could take it or leave it. Like I don't really care about Cyborg, which is not the worst thing ever. I mean, I didn't care about Cyborg in the Justice League animated movies. I didn't
No,
care about
no. I was there for like two characters.
yeah, right. And
Incidentally, I'm kind of bummed we don't get a Shazam in this one. I mean, I know why
yeah,
they didn't do it, but
yeah,
it's I liked him, and he was the founding member instead of Aquaman in the movie there. So, you know,
I prefer getting Aquaman personally.
well, for this it
I
makes way more sense. But
Yeah.
you know,
But yeah, I think that Shazam would have fit in well with this cat. I feel like he and the Flash, like this version of the Flash, would have got along really well. Like, and I'm looking forward to maybe eventually seeing that, since I think they're still making a Shazam movie, right?
yeah, I believe
Isn't
they
that
are.
still? Yeah, I think
It's
they
it's
are.
gonna be
So,
it's gonna be new Billy though, not old Billy, and I liked old Billy better.
mm,
When he
mm.
was a Boy Scout instead of a twat like he is now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I'll take what I can get because I've always wanted to see live action Shazam. So,
Well, they made a show about that in like the 80s.
did they really?
Yeah, you
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
that?
that. No, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
weird.
it's not good, but they made
Yeah, I
one.
didn't. I thought it was gonna be bad, but okay. Shit. All right. So this trailer was really good, and I really liked it. It gave me everything I wanted, and I walked away from it more excited than I was before.
And that's
So
all you could ask, really.
good on you, trailer.
Yeah, seriously.
And then there's the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. Okay, so it wasn't a bad trailer, Spider-Man Homecoming, but I feel it gave away way too much. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, okay, like this trailer, the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, basically gave me a rundown of the movie. Okay, he's gonna, the movie's gonna start out, and he's gonna be, just your usual neighborhood Spider-Man, wisecracking and taking, whatever.
Don't forget friendly.
Yeah, his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, I know. The movie's gonna start out and he's just gonna be normal Spider-Man, but he's gonna be dealing with low level thugs, just like muggers and shit. And he wants to do more. He wants to really make a
He wants to
difference.
play it. He wants to sit at the big boys table.
Exactly. And then he's going to somehow be introduced to Vulture. I don't know the details there, but somehow he's going to meet or fight or, interact with Vulture. And, Vulture's going to escape. And then Tony's going to show up and be like, hey, don't go after him. You're not ready for that shit. And then Spider-Man's going to ignore him and go after him anyway and go on this fairy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spider-Man's going to get his fucking ass handed to him and bite off way more than he can chew. And the fairy's going to be ripped in half. And Spider-Man's going to be doing his very best to hold it all together and, doing a good job, but not quite good enough. And then Iron Man's going to show up. He's going to fix everything for him. And he's going to be like, hey, motherfucker, you did not do what I told you to do. I told you to stay away from this shit. And then he's, give me the suit back. And then Spider-Man's like, no, I need the suit. I'm nothing without the suit. And then Iron Man's like, if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve it. And then he's going to take the suit back. And then Spider-Man's going to be like, no, I am a true hero. And he's going to put on his old shitty suit. And he's going to go after Vulture again and again. And then, and then he's going to somehow win the day in some way. But Vulture's probably going to escape. And then Iron Man's going to be like, oh, you schmuck, you. I shouldn't have taken this from you. you do deserve it, you hero. And then he's going to give the suit back, and then they're going to go to Washington D.C. for some reason. And he's going to have these new web wings, and he's going to have some weird spider drone thing that comes out of his chest. And
Yeah.
and then they're gonna defeat the Vulture. Everything's gonna be fine. And then cue the fucking Easter egg trailer thing at the end. like I literally have the whole movie mapped out. Like, granted, I don't know every story beat, but I have the general outlook.
Yep.
I don't want that going in. I didn't need all of this. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I get you.
Like I already know the basics of what the movie's gonna be.
I'd like to add one more part to that. I think that happens in the middle. I think in between him getting the suit taken away and putting on his crappy suit, I think there's going to be a section of doubt like we had in the third Spider-Man movie where he gets rid of the suit and goes, I don't deserve to be Spider-Man anyway. And then I don't know, he'll have like somebody will be in danger and he'll realize the true hero was in him all along or whatever, and he'll put on his red sweatshirt and his ski mask and he'll save the day, and that'll revitalize him.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. And that's another thing is this movie doesn't look bad by any means. It was a pretty good trailer and the movie looks okay, but doesn't that sound a little generic to you?
I mean,
Like, doesn't
yes,
that sound
it
like
does.
the most generic superhero story you could possibly tell?
Well,
And
yes. Well, I think
and I don't
let's-
know. I don't know, man. This is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man should be, kind of classic and, generic in a certain way, but I don't know.
Well, that's actually that's what I was going to say, is that we've had 5 of these already. Granted, they haven't all been in continuity with each other, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, we already did the Uncle Ben thing twice, and they gave us a pass on that one this time around.
Thank God.
But it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, this is the quintessential hero rises from the ashes story. And it's like, I mean, maybe not just Spider-Man, but this is basic hero guy. Like, Iron Man's done this one already when he had his, like, panic attacks and shit. We visited this story already. I mean, again, like before, the nipples are tweaked, but it's the same basic principle. And it's a bummer, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be bad. I don't want to say cliche, but kinda.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be bad, but I do think it's going to be kind of cliche, or how about stale? It's going to feel a little bit stale, and
that's almost more biting than cliche is.
I'm excited for this movie, and I really like this new Spider-Man, but I don't know. I want something that feels a little bit different.
Well, see, I feel because I actually really like this Spider-Man here, and I feel like he's going to save the show regardless.
That's true.
I feel like the plot around him is not as important as getting Spider-Man right, and I think they did that, so I'm not concerned about that as much as I probably would be if it was somebody else.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm kind of about this, and I'm gonna say this, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. I think that the Justice League trailer was a better trailer than Spider-Man: Homecoming.
For quality trailer purposes, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, no, it was a better trailer. The Justice League trailer gave me everything I wanted. The Spider-Man: Homecoming trailer gave me way too much of several things. Like they could have given us a flash of like him using the homemade suit, and then we think like, oh, is he going to be is there going to be a flashback? Why is he wearing that suit? It could be speculation. They could have not told us how the ferry scene was going to end. Like, I didn't really want to know that Tony was going to fly in and save the day.
Yeah, they could have actually omitted Tony entirely from this story, and you would have missed most of the important details.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Like, I didn't need Tony showing up and being like, give me the suit back. I didn't need that.
Yeah, I mean, just show the bits of Vulture's monologue where he's like, I will kill you and everyone you ever know, and it's like, okay, that's a villain, I get it.
If they wanted to hint at like Tony taking the suit back, they could have just had that one line where he's just like, if you what was it he said,
if you're nothing without the suit,
if you're nothing without the suit, then if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve it. I don't know, maybe there's something they could have had, like they could have chopped that up a little bit so it wasn't so like, okay, yeah, he's totally gonna take the suit back.
Because if they had just put that line in there, it could have been like, oh, maybe Spider-Man's doubting himself, because maybe he thinks it's just the suit or something. which obviously it's not because it doesn't supply him with any powers. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing is I have to actually question Spider-Man a little bit here. He's like, "Oh no, I'm nothing without the suit." I have to say, in what way is that true? What does that suit actually do for you?
I mean, it's got
Like
the web
the
shooters, but so did his other one. So
no,
like,
the web shooters were his design, not Toadie's.
well,
He
I
made
kind
the
of
web
figured
shooters.
that Tony had incorporated them into the new suit. That he didn't use the
Eh,
same web shooters. That was just an assumption I had made, but
fair enough.
either way,
So,
like he
but
did invent them, so he can still make them without. The suit really doesn't offer him anything as far
like
as we can
what?
tell.
Like the only thing I can think of is like the eyes, like where
Yeah,
it can focus his vision a little bit. Like that's the only thing.
but he's
Like
got a
what does
spider
the
sense. He
suit
doesn't need to look
do?
at things farther away. He's good on
Yeah,
that
like
front.
what? Yeah, I'm a little confused on this point. Like seriously, why does he even need it? Like he doesn't. Like you have super strength, you have the web shooters that you invented yourself. You have Spidey sense. Like you have everything you
Yeah,
need.
I think the only
let's.
benefit it really supplies you is it's more form fitting, and you can stick it under your clothes or in a
Yeah,
backpack or whatever he was doing instead of having a red and blue sweatshirt and sweatpants in there like he's
and
been doing this whole time.
I guess the only other thing might be like a symbolic
Oh,
meaning.
I mean
It's like
that's absolutely what it actually was, but from a
yeah,
practical standpoint, he could have done fine without it.
yeah. I don't know. It's like I'm
Daredevil
probably
made it a whole
thinking.
season without putting his costume on.
Yeah, exactly. Like God, Dare. Yeah, it's just like, hey, why don't you just throw on a black bandana? You'll be fine.
Yeah, just go with that Zorro look. It works for everybody else. Be the Dread
yeah,
Pirate Robert Spider-Man.
yeah. Like I don't know. It could work. So I think we're gonna move on from other things, from trailers. Finally, good lord. So we are going to talk about. This is probably the biggest news of the week. So Joss Whedon is in talks, and it looks like it's pretty much set in stone at this point. Not quite, but very, very likely to that he'll be directing a Batgirl movie for the DC universe. In the Justice League uh, continuity. That sounds great. Like, wow, I didn't expect that, but I'm totally okay with that. I like Joss Whedon like a lot. Avengers was great. Age of Ultron was pretty okay. It was
High
fine, I
praise.
guess.
High praise.
But like Firefly was great. I've heard very good things about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like I've heard great things about pretty much everything this guy has done. Like and now we're gonna get him in the DC universe. I think the DC universe could need something like that. Like that
Right.
sounds good.
Well,
Like
all right. A couple
yes,
things. Number one, interesting. There wasn't any sort of non-compete clause in his contract or something because this seems like the kind of thing that they would not want to happen.
oh yeah, yeah,
But
I agree.
apparently there isn't because otherwise we'd be hearing about it. Um, interesting choice to do a Batgirl movie. Not complaining. I'm totally down with a Batgirl movie. Just it seems weird that they would not have taken this opportunity to introduce us to Robin or something, or like Red
Yeah,
Mask, because
Red
Red Hood seems
Red
like the
Hood.
perfect addition to this universe.
I
Not that I
think
want him there, but
see
seems like he would.
what I would say to that is I feel like Batgirl is a really good fit for Joss Whedon. Compared like Red Hood and Joss Whedon just wouldn't go
Well,
together.
I'm not saying he would
Like
do that movie. I'm just saying they obviously
right.
thought up the idea of a Batgirl movie, and then they got him to do it. I'm saying if
Yeah.
they had done Red Mask or Red Hood instead, they would have found somebody else, obviously. But the character idea is a curious one to me that they would
I'm
have picked her.
still I'm still kind of holding out hope that like I this is something that I know won't happen, but I would love it if we could get like a prequel movie, like a prequel Batman movie that's
Were Robin
like
still alive?
where Robin's still alive and it's him against the Joker and it ends with the Joker fucking killing Robin and then it ends with Batman just shutting off everything and hating everything and then the final scene of the movie could be him in this really brooding dark horrible state just like everything is awful and then he sees the footage from Man of Steel. Like
And
I
that's what
feel like
revitalizes him as Batman?
no, 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 no. That's how it sets up to Batman v Superman with him going crazy and wanting to kill Superman because he is too powerful. You know what I
Ah,
mean? Like
I
it
got,
would
okay, I
tie
get you. I get
everything
you.
together. Like it would make Batman's mindset at the beginning of Batman v Superman make more sense. where like we see this world-weary, depressed asshole of a character, but we don't know how he got there, and like we don't know the specifics. There's
Right, right.
hints of it, but we don't really get the full story. And I
Okay,
would
all right,
love
I'm
to
with you.
actually know it,
I'm with you.
but I know that that's probably too, but see, like if they did something like that, then they could do another Batman movie that has, this is, set after Justice League, where we have a hopeful Batman again, and then fucking Red Hood comes to town and just wrecks his shit. Like that sounds awesome. I mean, you could still do that now. Like there's no reason you can't make a Red Hood movie. It would feel weird to do a Red Hood movie when we haven't been introduced
To Robin.
to Robin yet.
It
It
would
could
be
be like a
weird.
Winter Soldier type of
Yeah,
situation.
it would be
Like
weird.
like can you imagine making a Captain America movie and just having Winter Soldier showing up and us not knowing who that is, and then like it's like, oh, he's my friend, and then like they'd have to like do some kind of flashback or something to
Yeah, to when he
his,
fell off the stupid
yeah,
train
like it
without
would have
actually
been,
showing us that scene ever.
yeah, it wouldn't have worked as well, like with freaking Winter Soldier. Like the second you see him, you're just like, oh shit, that's fucking Bucky, and if you're paying attention, you know what that means, and you know what that means for Captain America as a character and how important Bucky is to him.
Right,
But
right,
you
right.
don't, and I feel like you're kind of missing out by making a Red Hood movie now when we haven't met Robin yet.
Mm-hmm. No,
It could
I'm
still
definitely
work
with you.
if done correctly. Okay.
Yeah, but
But
Batgirl.
yeah, Batgirl. Getting back to Batgirl, I also think this is a weird choice because I guess this means that she's not Oracle in this universe, right?
No, I guess she's not.
Yeah. So okay.
Well, I
I
guess
mean, are they
Alfred
gonna
kind of plays
make?
the role of Oracle right now, so.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could make her Oracle in
Well,
this movie,
I'm
but that's not gonna
was
happen.
Commissioner Gordon in Batman v Superman? I can't even remember
No,
honestly.
no, no. He's in the Justice League trailer, but no, he
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
in
he
Batman v
was.
Superman.
Well, then I guess continuity wise, she would be showing up sometime soon. Maybe this movie will be what sparks her to be a superhero then.
That'd be
Maybe.
interesting. Maybe, maybe,
Maybe we'll get a
maybe.
couple scenes of her kicking ass with her dad, and then she'll realize that hey, the world needs more caped crusaders.
Actually, that kind of like. Do you get the sense that this DC universe that they're building is just kind of like, oh, and also we're gonna do this movie too? Like, have you noticed how that just keeps happening? Like, it's just like, oh, and also we're gonna do a Nightwing movie. Oh, and also
If
we're
you
gonna do a
mean that I've
Batgirl
noticed that it
movie.
doesn't seem to be as well mapped out ahead of time as the Marvel
Yeah,
ones is, yes, I have noticed that.
yeah, like Marvel, like we fucking know all of their shit for the next like 10 years. With fucking the DC universe, I don't even know what movie is going to come out after Justice League. I don't know for sure what it's even going to be. It is probably going to be Aquaman, but it could be something completely fucking different. Like I don't even know. That's weird to me. I'm weirded out that I don't know at least a couple years ahead of time like what is going to be coming. I don't even know I know more about the upcoming release schedule of the Star Wars movies, and they're notoriously secretive, than I know about the DC universe. It's weird.
Yeah,
Like
especially
I
since they're really trying for the cinematic universe thing, which, to be fair, has only really had one successful attempt since they've trailblazed the process. But the key to this sort of thing is transparency and a lot of
yeah.
like planning to show people what to expect in the future and how those things are supposed to intermingle. But it doesn't work so hot if you're just throwing out names at like with a scattergun approach, in the sense of like, yeah, there's movies and they're connected, but it doesn't matter how. Don't worry about that. And also, this one might be tacked on later, and that'll also be connected, but don't worry about how.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I'm saying. Where it's like if they were building up to a Batgirl movie, that'd be one thing, but they haven't at all. I mean,
I mean,
this is
yeah,
far. This is pretty far in the future, and I don't really know how you would build up to a Batgirl movie like this. It's the kind of. I mean, Batgirl by example is one that you can just kind of throw in. Like Ant-Man didn't have any build up
yeah. No, I mean,
because
they all have to
how
have
would
their origin movie. They all have to start somewhere. But generally speaking, after they've gotten the first couple, most of the other ones are in some manner or of another influenced by them to be part of the world. Maybe not
yeah.
part of the team right away, because Iron Man wasn't part of the team right away, but the Avengers exist in his reality before he was a member.
Yeah, exactly. You get what I'm saying here, where it's just it feels weird that
Yeah,
the Marvel universe is so set and it's so and everything is
inclusive.
planned out. It's so inclusive and they know how to have callbacks and be like and teases for future movies and all of that shit. And then the DC universe is just it feels like it's being thrown together as they're making it up on the spot. Like they're just like
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then we're gonna do this too. Like, yep, that's the plan.
yeah.
Like, I don't
All part
know.
of our genius laid out plan that was totally thought out in the boardroom and not right here on the podium.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Also,
we're
I'm
in.
also
Oh,
getting word that we're starting a He-Man movie. That's going to be in there now. Deal with it.
oh, oh, I don't want. Oh, wait. Are you? That's not actual news,
No,
is it?
that's
That's
not
part of the.
actual thing.
That's your fake thing. I thought you were like throwing in like, oh, by the way, there's also a He-Man movie. Let's talk about it. And I was
Oh
like, no,
no, no, no, no!
Steve.
Didn't mean to scare you. I was being the guy on the podium. You didn't
Okay,
see my
good,
finger
good, good.
quotes.
No, I didn't see your finger quotes. Yeah, but okay, good. Then yeah, right? Like, oh, and also the Power Rangers movie, that's in our universe too. Like, like fucking shit, dude.
Can we
Like,
talk
why
about
are
the
you
Power
doing
Rangers movie
this?
actually?
Wait, what?
Can we talk about the Power Rangers movie actually?
I mean, if you really want
I
to,
kind of wanna.
like right now or
No,
later
but
or
if we get around to it.
okay, sure. Have you seen it?
No, just want to say things about it.
All right, fine. You know what? You could make that your humble opinion, okay? How's
It's
that?
not really that big of a news thing. I just wanted to talk about it a bit, but
All
okay,
right,
fine.
fine. Oh no! You want to talk about Power Rangers? Let's fucking talk about Power Rangers. I'm not too excited about it. I don't really want to see it. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
don't
gonna
really
make what
care
I was
about.
gonna say sound pretty stupid now, because I thought it was kind of
No,
fun looking.
you thought it was kind of fun. I don't know.
To be
I don't
fair,
really
okay, no, no,
I
no.
don't really like Power
Let
Rangers.
me be
I don't.
clear. I have never seen any Power Rangers, and I think the Power
Oh,
Rangers are incredibly stupid. That being said, I feel like this movie, just maybe, might be asinine enough where it's fun.
I heard some things about like a Krispy Kreme situation. Have you heard about this at all?
No, what?
There apparently there's some really over the top product placement in this movie,
Oh,
specifically
okay.
about Krispy Kreme. Like, okay, from what I've heard from some of my online reviewer people, is that this Power Rangers movie, there's like some kind of MacGuffin like item thing that they need to
Of
get
course. Is it a
under.
delicious Krispy Kreme donut
No,
available
no,
for three
it's
ninety nine?
but it's underneath a Krispy Kreme shop. And so like for like a large portion of the movie, they're just like, we have to get to the Krispy Kreme. Get to the
Oh
Krispy
my
Kreme. Are you
god,
at the
that's
Krispy Kreme?
disgusting.
And then like fucking Rita at some point like shows up and goes to the Krispy Kreme, and before blowing it up so that she can get the thing whatever it is
The Dragon
underneath
Balls.
the yeah, whatever the fuck it is. She like eats a Krispy Kreme like she's fascinated by it. She's just like staring at it, and then she takes like one bite, and then she takes a like then she like eats the whole thing and just like it's just like delicious, and then she blows the whole shit up.
Available now at your local Krispy Kreme store.
Like apparently it's super ridiculously like holy shit. The like Krispy Kreme have to suck their nuts in order to get
Clearly.
this
Oh,
to
dude, they
work.
worked the shaft for sure. That actually kind of makes me want to see it more. Because I
Yeah,
can't even
like
imagine the blatant disgustingness of that sort of like God, that's almost Pepsi Man levels of product placement. And that was a game made to sell Pepsi.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's like awful. But
Yeah.
this is like a morbid part of me that kind of thinks it's. I kind of compare it to like Borderlands. Now I think Borderlands is boring as tits, but
I agree with you. Thank you. I'm glad someone said it.
yeah,
Borderlands is boring. It's
Borderlands is boring. However, I think the world Borderlands exists in and the sort of miasma of wit and potty humor, I think that's
yeah,
just awesome.
I
But the
agree.
actual game is boring as balls. I think that's what I want out of Power Rangers. I want the well, I don't want it, but I think that's what I'm gonna get. The Power Rangers movie as a concept of guys punching weird looking crystal monsters or ninjas or whatever. That's gonna be box standard and boring. But if you look at it from the outside and just kind of live in the world for a minute, it's gonna be absolutely delightful because it's going to be grotesque, and that's
I
what I
know.
want out of it.
I'm actually kind of with you right now. Like what's really interesting to me is from what I've read about the Power Rangers movie, it actually they actually take the time to build characters and make you care about the main cast, and there's not as much Power Rangering as you might expect. It's
That's
more about
interesting.
yeah, it's more about making you care about these characters and fleshing them out and telling you about their struggles and build and having them all join together as a team and actually grow to like each other. And then also at the end, it's oh yeah, and also Power Rangers,
Yeah.
swords and fighting
Yeah,
and
because I,
shit
I
and
remember
whatever.
seeing the end scene where it was basically like them fighting a bunch of things, and they're like they're in the little land speeders or whatever, and then they turn into whatever the big thing is called, the robot
Megazord.
Megazord.
Sorry.
Thank you. And they turn into the
Yeah.
Megazord, and then it's actually fun. It's like that's what I expected a lot of it to be, but now that you're saying that, that's I don't know how I feel. I don't know how this movie baffles me, and
Yeah.
but that Krispy Kreme thing makes me really want to be a part of it.
I kind of want to see it now just because of this conversation. All right, let's move on to actual
Okay,
news.
sorry, I had
So
to derail. I
yeah,
remembered it, and I was like, I wanted to say that, but
the definition of derailing. We're not even related to what we're talking
no,
about.
I
Oh my
just
god.
really needed to say something about it. Sorry.
Okay. So, there is a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie in the works from Sony, of course.
Why?
No. I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished.
Oh, sorry. Go
And
ahead.
it is going to not be connected to the MCU. It is going to be
Why?
yeah, there you go. It's going to be like Venom in the sense that it's going to be a spin-off film of not of nothing. It's going to be a spin-off film of Spider-Man as an idea, I guess. I don't understand how you can make a spin-off film when you haven't even made the original film yet, because this isn't even going to be related to to our Spider-Man continuity, Spider-Man Homecoming. It's not even in that universe. It's its own fucking thing. And I like Black Cat well enough, but you know why I like Black Cat? I like
I know
Black
why
Cat
you like
because of
Black Cat.
well, not just that, but also I like Black Cat because of her interactions with motherfucking Spider-Man. That's what I care about. I care about Black Cat in relation to Spider-Man. I don't care about her by herself. Whatever. She's just a Catwoman ripoff. Fuck you. No. You don't get the right to do this. Fuck off. This is as bad of an idea as making a Catwoman movie that isn't in any way related to any of the Batman movies. Oh wait, they did that and
Whoops.
it fucking sucked. No, stop it. Sony, I swear to God. Where's my fucking water bottle? I gotta spray you fucking assholes. No. No. I'm so fucking not okay with this idea.
Bad multi-million-dollar company. Bad.
So fucking stupid. Venom, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Venom could actually work. Venom is a strong enough character to theoretically stand on his own. Maybe. Because there's plenty of stuff to go along with Venom. You got the symbiote. You got how he's like Spider-Man, but he's not. I don't know. You could make it work.
Maybe.
Maybe if you do it correctly. But Black Cat and Silver Sable, first of all, I don't even know who the fuck Silver Sable is. Do you know who
She's a
that?
lady with white hair who has like swords that come out of her wrists,
Oh, okay.
but not actually her. They just come out of her costume.
Well, yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's it. That's
okay.
all you need to know.
I guess I just neither of these characters are strong enough to have their own movie, and that might not be true if it was in some kind of an interconnected Spider-Man universe, but it's fucking not. And so you can't just have a Black Cat and Silver Sable fucking franchise. It doesn't work that way. You can't do that. These are not strong enough characters for that. No one fucking cares. No. Oh God, I I can't even do this right now. Oh, and by the way, people out there wondering, I know all of our fans, all 8 of them. If you were wondering what the news was that I was talking about, I can't wait to talk to Steve about in our Iron Fist review. This was it. This was the thing I was just like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this because it's so fucking stupid. It's just, god damn it! Like,
Nietzsche was right. God is dead.
yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
Did you get it out? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think I'm all right.
Okay. You need to breathe into a bag or something?
Okay, I'm fine.
All right. Okay.
Fine.
Well, you'll be happy to hear I'm in total agreement with you.
Thank you.
I didn't want you to have to worry about that.
I knew we were in agreement about this. If you were going to try and defend this movie, I was going to like wring you out to dry.
I was a little tempted to pretend to, but I saw how mad you actually were, and I was like, man, no.
Well, it's
no.
just like I'm a huge comic book movie fan. I love these movies. I like to go and see as many of them as I can. And now you're adding this shit onto my list. Like now I have to actually spend time thinking about the Black Cat Silver Sable movie. Like you're wasting my fucking life right now with this shithole. I just no.
Like, exactly.
It's just such a phenomenally bad idea. I can't even contain it.
Well, everybody, okay. That's what Adam's like when he gets worked up about something he doesn't like.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't usually do that. I usually try to be...
It's an exciting experience to witness firsthand.
It's great. Okay.
It's like the moon landing.
More like the Challenger explosion, buddy. Damn it.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay. Slow clap. Slow clap. Sorry. Go on.
Okay. So, Spider-Man. We're going to talk more about Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man might not be in the MCU for as long as we initially thought, which is concerning. So, you know how Sony and Marvel made that huge deal to have to sort of give
borrow Spider-Man.
Yeah, to borrow Spider-Man for the MCU.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's still in effect for the time being, but that only applies for Homecoming, Avengers, 3 and 4, whatever, the Infinity War, and whatever the other one is, and Spider-Man Homecoming 2, or whatever the next Spider-Man movie is, whatever they decide to call it. And after that, they'd have to renegotiate. And there is a chance that Sony isn't going to want to do that because, I mean, the only reason that they really negotiated in the first place was so that they could make money and get their Spider-Man franchise off the ground because they keep trying and failing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why they, allowed Marvel to kind of, kickstart it and get things going again. And I don't know if they're going to want to continue that deal once this is, I don't know if they want to continue that deal because, Marvel had to do all kinds of bullshit about how, okay, we have creative control and you have to, only do what we tell you can do. And I feel like Sony's not going to like that very much. And I feel like there's a chance that they're just going to try to say, you know what, screw it, and do their own thing after this deal is over. And I think that's a really bad idea.
Okay, I agree with you that they will definitely do that, no question. However, from a non-corporation sort of point of view, from what I like to call the logical in the real world perspective, registered trademark, if I were Sony and Marvel paid me a bunch of money to borrow my property and had to keep paying me to use it, and those movies were successful, why would I ever complain?
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
I genuinely can't wrap my head around it. If they wanted it back, I get that it's a selfish need for money grubbing greediness because I understand that, but from the perspective of common sense, you think, okay, they have entire creative control over there at Marvel, but they're being successful, and they have to come to me for this because I own it. All I have to do is sign a paper that says, give me money for this thing I can't do anything with because I'm bad at it. And they'll say, okie doke, here's some money. And then I get to be happy, they get to be happy, and we keep making money together. Whereas I make no money by myself. So I don't know why anybody in this situation would be like, you know what? I'm going to take my chances shoveling out more things that didn't work because I got a good feeling about the sixth one.
Okay, I will agree that that makes some sense. The only thing that I fear might be getting in the way of that is pride. That,
Oh, that's absolutely what it
Sony
is. Don't get
Sony
me
doesn't
wrong.
want yeah, Sony doesn't want to, play second fiddle to Marvel. They want to, they don't want to have to get Marvel's permission to do whatever the
No,
fuck
of
they
course
want.
not.
I mean, think about it. That's why they're doing shit with Venom and Black Cat and Silver Sable. It's because they want to have their own, they want to have control over their own thing. And the
Right.
only reason they gave Spider-Man back in the first place was because they kind of needed to, because they were strapped for cash.
But just think
Like
of all the things they could do. They could be farming Black Cat, Silver Sable, and Venom out to Marvel as well. And that also makes them money. And
but
it's
see,
practically guaranteed to succeed.
well, see, that's the thing, though, is, Marvel might want Venom, but they're not going to want Black. I mean, probably
Okay,
not
that
right
was an
away.
example, but you know what I
But no,
mean.
but see, that's what I'm saying is, from Sony's perspective, they're just trying to make money. And I agree with you that, it would make sense to continue doing the Spider-Man thing, but at the same time, if you don't have creative control, what if Marvel decides, you know what, we're gonna cool it a little bit on the Spider-Man. We're gonna take like a 2 year break, and then we're gonna come back and do more Spider-Man. What if
Good,
Sony doesn't?
fine, that's fine.
That
You
I'm
made
sure
your
that you
money.
agree. I, that's not how
No,
it works.
I understand, Adam. I get why none of these things I'm saying will be the case, but I wish they were the case because. And while we're at it, give them Fantastic Four back. I know you've said that, but I've since seen the the newish Fan Four Stick movie, and it
Yeah,
sucks as much dick as I thought it was going to. Perhaps
yeah,
even
it
more
was
so. So
it
give
was
him
really
that back.
awful. Yeah,
Let him have that shit back. Let him have Doctor Doom back, and he can do it proper
actually,
instead of that Muppet that you put in the movie.
I gotta interrupt you for a second there. Sony does not own Fantastic Four. That's Fox.
Oh, I'm
Just want
sorry.
to throw that. Yeah,
Well, okay, then Fox give it back. But my point
Fox,
stands.
Fox, give it back.
My point stands that all you have to do is rent these properties out to Marvel because they have the caring hands to mold them into gold, and they'll break off a piece for you. It's the win-win for everybody, and I don't understand. I know it's pride. I get it. I get that you want to have your own shitty universe of things to try to compete with this, and if DC can't do it, you can't do it. So
Yeah,
chill your tits
DC
and break off a
DC
piece of
has
that good
like
gold.
DC has such a vast, rich universe that they can just do whatever the fuck they want with. Sony has literally Spider-Man
Yeah,
and
and they have to
Spider-Man related
scrimp
characters.
and shave and drain that property for all it's worth if they want to try to make a universe out of it.
Yeah, and it's
We're gonna
it's
start getting
kind
like
of
the Norman Osborn years or something as movies soon.
oh god. I mean, we're already getting Black Cat and Silver Sable. I mean, we're already scraping the bottom of the
I
bucket.
know, but there is no way that they're not gonna try to dig out a basement in
Pretty
that
soon,
barrel.
yeah, pretty soon they're gonna start drilling through the bottom of the bucket.
We're gonna
Like,
start getting like a
how
Wrecking Crew movie or something.
like, let's see. Let's get a Green Goblin movie. Let's get a Hobgoblin movie.
Don't forget the
Let's
Rhino
yeah, oh, of course, the Rhino
and the
movie.
Shocker. Don't forget
Did
Shocker.
you just want to throw this out there? I mean, this is kind of old news in that like it kind of got canceled. But back when the Amazing Spider-Man franchise was still going, Sony was working on an Aunt May spin-off film.
Oh, I remember we talked about that.
You
Yeah,
remember that? You
yeah.
remember how Aunt May was going to get her own spy film?
Remember
Like
how Sony has this really desperate need to make money out of the Spider-Man universe?
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
there
all
it
they
is.
fucking
There it
have.
is.
Yeah, holy
That's
fucking
ground
shit.
zero right there.
Up next, we're gonna have fucking I don't know what
Ghost Uncle Ben.
God,
Oh my
I
god.
just I can't do this, man. Okay, so Sony, stop it with the Black Cat and Silver Sable. Stop it with Venom. Give Marvel Spider-Man, or just continue letting Marvel have Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Okay,
I understand
okay.
if you don't want to give it up to sell it because it's a moneymaker right now, and you would be silly to sell it back to them. But just continue renting it then. Just
Yeah,
let them
it's
do what they want with
fine.
the property. That's fine.
They know what they're doing. You don't. Don't lie to me, Sony. You fucked up too many times. Okay. Okay.
You
Like, I
don't know how to
swear to
business
God.
good.
God damn it. All right. So, one last little bit of news here. I I thought about not talking about this, but I think it's kind of cool. So Hawkeye is going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is a weird development
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, I guess they did have some interaction in that they're both on Team Cap, and and Ant-Man was holding on to his arrow, and he's like, yeah, I'm ready, arrow guy, and and then they did the thing where he shot into the air and
Yeah,
into
that was
Iron
that
Man's
was a cool
suit.
callback to the panel, but
Yeah, that was awesome. But like, I don't know. I mean, I yes, they
that's
have
because Paul
had
Rudd is
some.
awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is basically the only reason. But I remember, just a quick thing. I remember when Paul Rudd was first announced to be Ant-Man, and I didn't like it. I was like, because I don't. But man, I completely regret that. He was fucking fantastic. I love him as Ant-Man. He's one of my favorite Avengers now.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's
oh
up
yeah.
there. He's like top 5. Like that's great.
Top
That's
five
really
of
good.
what? The seven Avengers?
Well, no, are you kidding me? There's more than 7. There's I mean there's just 6 of the original Avengers, and then you've got Scarlet Witch, and you've got Vision, and you've got Black
I
Panther,
always forget Vision's in those movies.
and you've got Spider-Man now, and you've got Ant-Man himself. Like you've got plenty of shit going on. Like don't there's that's good.
No,
Okay, I'm getting
all
distracted.
right.
I'm getting distracted. So Hawkeye, he's gonna be in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Um, I'm okay with that. I think it's funny that Hawkeye and Black Widow are basically like what the prostitutes of this universe. Like they
Yeah.
just they just go wherever they need to go, just to make a quick buck. They'll do any they'll do
They'll
anything.
be in anybody's film. They don't care how it is.
like seriously, like Black Widow has already been in like a bajillion things. Like what? Iron Man 2, Captain America, both of the Avengers. What else was there? Captain America 3 and 2. Fuck. I'm trying to remember. Am I missing one? I
No,
think
I
that's
think you got
everyone.
him. I think you
Yeah.
got him.
And like, Hawkeye has really only been in Avengers 1 and 2, and he had a very small appearance in the original Thor. I don't know if you remember that,
I do.
but
He was on the crane thingy.
yeah, yeah. Like it was more of a cameo than anything else, but he was there. Like that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm actually totally okay with this because I feel like the MCU hasn't really given Hawkeye the time to shine. That was one
No,
of
he
the
hasn't really
things.
gotten a proper shake.
Yeah, like the closest thing we got
Even in
was yeah,
Civil
Age of
War, he
Ultron.
was like
Oh,
only there because his contract requires him to be in Avengers movies.
yeah, right. Like I think it's weird that like the closest thing we got to like a good hawk. I was going to say a Hawkman.
Good Hawkman
Jesus.
movie.
The closest thing we've gotten to a good Hawkeye movie was Age of Ultron, where he was kind of important in that one, and they
He was
actually
more
like,
of a spotlight at least,
yeah, well, they at least tried to do something with his character
which
instead of
was
just kind.
appreciated.
Yeah, I liked that, and I kind of would have liked to have more of that. And like he was barely in Civil War. Let's not kid ourselves here. Like he had a very small role in Civil
Yeah.
War. Like he that was like it was more than his appearance in Thor, but it wasn't much. It was like he probably had as much screen time in Civil War as like Vision did. Like in
Yeah.
Vision,
Basically,
like like I
there
don't
was
know.
that one
That's
scene with Scarlet Witch where he was making the soup or whatever, but that was basically the only extra time. So he probably inches out Hawkeye by minutes.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know how that would work exactly, but yeah, it's weird that he's gotten so shafted in these movies. So I'm totally okay with him being an Ant-Man and the
I'm
Wasp.
kind of wondering if he's going to be a main part or like just another like
Yeah. I
sideshow
mean,
thing.
the original Ant-Man had Falcon in it, and that was a nice little cameo scene thing. That was well handled. I thought that was good. It
Oh yeah,
might be
yeah, yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
It might be something similar to that in that it's just kind of like one rather long scene instead of like him actually being a main thing in the movie. I mean, we don't know anything about the plot of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm
No,
assuming it has something to do with going into the microverse. I assume,
you
but
think
that's
so?
just. I mean, it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. You'd think that they'd go back and get the original Wasp, theoretically. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
Or
don't know if
they,
they're ever going to do that or not. That might be a
but they
thing that we.
set that they set that up so well in
No, I
Ant-Man,
know, but
where
I'm thinking that
like
might be something they try off screen, or they wait till like his third movie to try.
Really?
Yeah.
I really hope that they do that sooner rather than later. Like I thought they did such a good job in Ant-Man where like you got to see like her silhouette when he went into the microverse at the end and then he comes out. Like I thought that was really cool and I would really like it if they did something with that idea, but I don't know if they will. Anyway, so I'm cool with this. Are you cool with this?
Yeah, I'm cool with this.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
mind
cool with
about.
this. I have no problem with it. So now we're going to do my humble opinion. And unless that's changed, you do not have a humble opinion this week, correct?
I do not.
Okay. So I'm going to do mine, and I'm going to try to keep this brief, because otherwise I could gush for quite a while. So in
You
my
can gush if
humble
you want.
in my humble opinion, Breath of the Wild, or Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, is absolutely fantastic. Like, okay,
That
so
is not news to anybody, though.
I got this as I'm this isn't about what everyone else is saying. This is about my reaction and my thing. I mean, it's just gonna be me saying how much I love it, but whatever. I don't give a shit. So I got this as a gift, right? And like it was a surprise gift that my fiance got me, and that was wonderful. And it has been absorbing my life for maybe a week, about a week ish. I mean, when I have time between this and other stuff. Um, and it's so freaking good. I can't even freaking control myself. It's oh my god. So, unlike other Zelda games where like they kind of everything is set up around dungeons. Everything in Zelda games, previous Zelda games, is set up around dungeons. You go into a dungeon, you get a new item, and then you get to go to different parts of the map, or you get to access different secret areas, or you get to open the one door that lets you go to the rest of the fucking
Yep.
world.
After you talk to Impa, you get to finally go to the mountains. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and that's like the bread and butter of Zelda games is dungeon, new item, rinse and repeat, add, until the end
Ad
of the game.
infinitum.
Yeah, ad infinitum, yeah. And in this game, it is not like that. There are these things called shrines, which are like these little mini dungeons, and there's four of them in the very beginning, and each one gives you a new like item, and these take like literally 10 minutes to beat or less. Each one gets you a new, not an item per se. It's like these little weird, what are they
It's an
called?
app for your
Runes?
phone.
Yeah, it's an app for your phone Sheikah Slate thing, which allows you to do different things like magnetize, like you can pick up different metal objects, or you can make ice pillars, or what was the other ones? You can stop moving objects or make stationary objects move. Or the last one is bombs. It's just straight up bombs. The thing I love about the bombs, just as a quick thing, is that like you don't since they're an app on your Sheikah Slate thing, they don't like you don't have to like have an inventory of bombs. It's just like a bomb that like you throw, it blows up when you press the button, um and then it just recharges, and it recharges in like 10 seconds, and then it's like you could just do it again and again and again. I love that. And it's such a great way. Such a great weapon. Like when you don't have a weapon, it's a great thing you can do to do some damage to these things. And it's really weird to play this game where they basically give you all of the dungeon items in the first like couple of hours, and then they just let you free in this magnificent, beautiful, world that's just filled to the brim with all kinds of shit to do. You can craft things, you can cook all this different food, and you have to cook food because otherwise you are going to get fucked in the ass a lot. Because there's no there's no hearts
I
anywhere.
heard that. Yeah.
Like you don't
There's
you
no
don't
heart
pick up
containers
heart.
anymore, right?
There are heart containers, but not in the traditional sense. The way it works is with those shrines I was telling you about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's four in the beginning, but there's like a fucking shit ton of them all over the world. Like, they're everywhere. And each one gets you like a spirit orb, and then you could use four spirit orbs
Okay,
to
those are
get your.
pieces of heart then.
I get no, not exactly. You can use them either to get a heart container or to get a stamina container. And
Oh.
but you need those. Like it's important that you have stamina containers because you need to climb a lot, and you also use your stamina to use your paraglider like kite thing,
Yeah.
which is also super important. So like, at first I was just like stamina. I don't need stamina. You need stamina. like you really do. I got my first one. I got a heart container, but after that I was like okay, yeah, stamina. And I recently got enough to get another one, and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna go get more stamina because you fucking need it. And apparently if you max it out, which I don't know how long that takes, but if you max it out you have unlimited stamina, which is awesome. I need that
All
shit.
right.
And so I finally broke down and started Googling how to do things because there are a few things that I was like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? And then I Googled it and it made a lot more sense.
Fair enough.
So, Breath of the Wild. Getting back to that. So I love the idea of having all of these items given to you in the very beginning and just letting you loose in this beautiful world because the game feels like a Zelda game that's made, it's made for kids in that, it's still very much Zelda-y and it has all kinds of, fun, childish, quirky characters, but it also feels like it was made with adults in mind. Like, it's just like, hey, you want a sequence break and do things completely out of order? You do whatever the fuck you want. Hey, you want to, go and just do a bunch of side shit right away? You go right ahead. You want to focus on the main story? It's right over there. Like, this game is so open-ended. And the thing that I don't like often about open-ended games is that I often feel that there's so many options that I don't know what to do.
Preach.
And the best example of this to me is Grand Theft Auto, where there's just so much shit. You can go golfing and bowling and play darts, and you can drive cars, and you can complete side
Right,
missions. And
but the difference between that is none of those things are fun except for driving cars and shooting things.
yeah, and that's the thing about Grand Theft Auto is it's like a jack of all trades, except it does none of them very well. Like it's just a bunch of different shit that you can do, but none of it's that great. It's just all decent.
Yeah.
But with Breath of the Wild, it's like there's less to do compared to, Grand Theft Auto, but there's more to do than any other Zelda game. There's so many, other side things you can do, but they all feel relevant and they get you cool items and, they get you different, they get you different pieces of clothing. They get you different weapons.
I hear you don't
They
get the green tunic at the start this time around.
No, you don't. And I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit.
Okay.
I will get there. But there's all this side shit, and there's so much to do. And you can go and you can upgrade your inventory, and you can upgrade your heart containers and your stamina, like I mentioned before. I love the shrines. I love doing them. That's like the first thing I do whenever I get in a new area. I go to there are these sky pillar things.
Radio towers,
And,
sure.
sort of, but not. I mean, yes, you're right that it's that idea, but the difference is that all that they do is like make your mini map like an actual mini map instead of just like blank nothingness. That's all they do. Like they don't like show points of interest on the map. You have to go and find things,
Well, that is
which is
truer to the formula, I suppose. Zelda is about finding things, so I
but
suppose
the
that would make
but the
sense, wouldn't it?
but the thing that and at first I didn't like that because I like being told where to go, because if I don't know where to go, then I don't know to do things. But this game does a good job of like having little arrows over places or not arrows, exclamation marks over places where side missions are. And they also do this thing where you can have like this like lens. You can use your Sheikah slate to kind of zoom in from to super far away, and then you can like put markers down where on any spots of interest. Like if you see a shrine in the distance, you can activate your Sheikah slate, put a little marker there, and then that goes on your mini map. It's like a little beak. Sorry. My ear was itchy. It's this little beacon that kind of points you in the direction of where you were, no matter where you like. You can be standing at point A, see some shrine at point B, fast travel to point C, and that your beacon at point B is still there, and you can still keep going to it. Like it's really well realized where it's not like, oh, you can go in that direction, but if you stop going in that direction it goes away. And it's not like some stupid auto path thing like Grand Theft Auto where it's like, oh, I want to go there, and it takes you on this weird winding way over there. I don't really like. It's done very well, the way that you can interact with the way that you interact with the world, and the way that you know what to do while it also not telling you what to do. It's really cool the way that they did that. And I don't understand it well enough to be able to truly critique it, but it's really well done in that I always am like, oh, there's stuff over there. Oh, there's stuff over there. But I never feel lost. It's just, oh, God.
From what
I
I
can't.
understand of it, that kind of sounds like Dark Souls.
Is it?
Well, I
I
think that's
played
from
very little of
again.
that.
I desperately tried to get into Dark Souls, but I just couldn't. But from what I
Me too.
understand, one of the things people really like about Dark Souls is that the world is very obvious when it's telling you to where places of interest are. If you see something in the
Mm,
distance that looks interesting, chances are you can go there and it is interesting.
fair enough.
So that's
See,
kind of
I like
what.
that. It is a lot like that, actually. Yeah, so that's cool. I didn't know that Dark Souls did that, but yeah, it is a lot like that. And that I guess that brings me to another thing that I like but also don't like. The combat system is really well realized in the sense that it rewards you for knowing what you're doing, and it will fuck you in the asshole if you don't know what you're doing. Like
Okay.
the game is surprisingly hard. Like if you go into like a difficult area and you have a bunch of shitty weapons from the first area, you will barely be able to handle one generic enemy. Like one, and there's usually like 5 of them at a time. Like you will get wrecked if you want to. It's not hard, and you can beat people with basic weapons, but you have to like know the combat system really well. You have to know when to dodge. Some attacks you have to jump backwards, and other attacks you have to jump to the side. And if you time it perfectly where you jump backwards or to the side at exactly the right moment, time slows
Oh,
down
you
and you
get a
can
little
just spam.
Bayonetta thing.
Yeah, it's almost exactly like that. And you can just spam the attack button, and it'll just, you can just rip them to shreds. And I really like the combat system. It reminds me a little bit of Dark Souls, but not quite as hard. But it actually in a weird way, it almost reminds me of Assassin's Creed Unity, which I also really liked the combat system of because it was also challenging but rewarding. I like it. I like combat when it's not super easy, but it's not so hard that I can't get my head around it. Like I don't like the combat of Dark Souls or For Honor, for example, because to me it's too much. It's too complicated. There's too much going on, and I just get fucked over and over and over. And to me, it's not fun. This game rewards experimentation, and it wants you to try to get around, do things in a different weird way. Like if you see a group of enemies just sitting around a campfire, you can go attack them, or you can sneak around, push a bunch of boulders off the cliff above them, and just kill all of them without having to basically do anything. The game is all about thinking your way through things and being able to try to do things in a different way, however you want to do it. And I don't like it usually when games do that, but it just is done so well in this game that I always feel like there's another way to do it, and there's always another way to go, and you can climb everything. You can always find a way to get around enemies. It's so fucking cool the way
So
that they
okay,
did
so
this.
the ideal scenario is not always running in there with your
Definitely
sword,
not.
or is that
Definitely not.
always almost never the right answer?
I mean, it depends. It depends on the situation, honestly. If it's just a couple of enemies, and if you have a bunch of weapons that you don't mind breaking, then yeah, go ahead and wreck their shit. Or you can just avoid them. Most of the time, you can just avoid enemies. That's what I do. Um, but sometimes I also kill them just because they drop different crafting items, which
Well,
can be used
that's
for.
kind of what I was like when I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn. At a certain point, you basically just hoof it past all the enemies unless you're specifically
Yeah.
looking for one kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it is actually kind of like that. Like at the beginning of the game, I was killing everything, but then after a while, I was just like, I already have 40 of these.
Yeah, I
like
have
like I
all the
don't.
mushrooms you can drop. I don't need this anymore.
It's a lot like that. Yeah. And now to talk about the combat system a little bit more, specifically the weapons.
I think I know where
Um,
this is going already, but
yeah. So the weapons, there's this weapon system where enemies will drop weapons and you can pick them up, and as you use them they will break and they'll just like shatter in your hand, and then you have to use a different weapon. And I like that as an idea. The only problem that I have with this, and it's not bad in this game, but this is one of the few things I don't really like, is that um the weapons break really quickly, especially when you're dealing with enemies that require a lot of hits. Like there was like this big like troll looking monster thing that I wanted to take down. I mean, it was almost like a mini boss. Like it was pretty difficult to do, and I burned through like 5 weapons killing this thing. Like you constantly are in need of more weapons. And every time you get a good one, it's like, oh, this is so great. I better not use this right away. Like, you have to save all of your good weapons for when you are going up against something important, something in a
right,
shrine or
right.
in.
The Final
Or,
Fantasy, I won't use this. I need it later, kind of thing.
it's like that. It's not quite as bad as that because like there are weapons all over the place, and as you go throughout the game, like once you go to more and more difficult areas, the weapons that get dropped are just better and better and better. So again, it comes to a point where that really good weapon you got in the beginning is now just kind of average, and so you can just use it. You can just use it whenever you want. Um, but I don't know. The weapon system is odd in that I like the idea of being able to pick up enemies' weapons and to do all this, but I don't really like that I am constantly worrying about when this particular weapon is going to break, and I don't really like if you only have one weapon, holy shit, you better avoid every enemy you can, like unless you want to like kill them with bombs or something, because again the
Or
bombs
Bokoblin
respawn.
clubs.
Yes. Oh god, yes. Those fucking things. I have like 3 of them because I burned through them so fast.
Oh
I
yeah.
just like, oh my god.
Okay, so can I weigh in?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I actually already knew about the weapon degradation system.
It's odd. It's
Yeah.
really odd.
So
I don't
okay,
know.
this is certainly not the first game to use this, and a lot of this game's haters, because this game is a Nintendo game and therefore must have haters. I A lot of people are calling this out as stupid because it's a weapon, degradation system, and then now okay, I don't object to them as a concept like you did, but what worries me is that they were doing them wrong. And what I mean by that is there are games, take The Witcher for example. In the Witcher games, they have weapon degradation, but they don't break. They just get less effective. So if you
Mm.
use a sword a bunch, it just takes like cumulative damage. It won't ever break. Like you can get it down to 0% and it won't break. It'll just be practically useless. So you have to like resharpen it or whatever. And it comes down slowly. So you can use a sword for a long time and you'll come back and check on it in the stats menu and you'll be like, "Oh, I have like 25% damage on this thing. Better go fix it." That's
That
different.
sounds nice
That's cool,
actually.
except I don't know if that's right for this game because if you have something like the Bokoblin Club or whatever, there are a lot of people who would probably just hold on to the first one they got in the game and never get rid of it because why would you bother? It never breaks, right?
Yeah.
So another option is what the hell is that game called? I don't even remember what it's called. Dead Island. No, it's not Dead Island. Yeah, Dead Island. Dead Island. It's it a lot of this. It's kind of like a first person Dead Rising, which also has weapon degradation in it, but
Oh,
like
oh,
even
wait, I've
worse.
played that. Yeah, I've played Dead Island. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why. I was like listening to you, and I was like, huh, yes, hmm. And then I was like, wait a second, I fucking played that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
know
okay,
that
Dead
game.
Rising did weapon degradation wrong. They did it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like a
Oh god, I
sword should
hate
not
that.
explode after 4 swings into a fleshy zombie.
I fucking
But
hate
we're
the
not talking
weapon
about them.
degradation in
Dead
that game. Oh
Dead
my god.
Dead Island did it almost, I think, the right way. Because a lot of the crappy things that aren't meant to be weapons, like boards or bats or sticks or whatever, those things break. Now, metal things erode or whatever, but they don't break. Like your sword's not going to break, but it becomes crappier as you go along. So I think that's how they should have done it in Breath of the Wild. I think because it's my understanding even the most powerful weapons have actual like health on them, and they will actually eventually break no matter how good they are. Is that true?
Uh,
I guess you wouldn't know because you're
I
not that
haven't gotten
far.
far enough to
Well,
really say
spoiler alert,
that.
I think that's the case. Anyway, it's what I think should have happened is after a certain tier, like if you go through a dungeon or a mini dungeon or whatever, and you find something super cool at the end, it shouldn't break permanently. You should always have it as an option in your inventory. Maybe it's like crappier over time. Maybe you have to do
I'm
something
pretty
to
sure
fix
that
it.
like I think I remember reading that the Master Sword itself like doesn't break. I think it just like it will quote unquote break, but then it like recharges in some weird way.
Oh,
That's
I
what
heard you
I.
have to reforge them or something, but
Oh, is that what it
that's not the
is? I
point.
see. I
The
don't know.
point is that you should do something where it gets crappier, but it's never totally gone from you. The Bokoblin clubs, break those. I don't care. The rusty swords that I know you can start in the game with, when you like find those
Mm,
within the first 10 feet of
yep.
you,
Yep.
that kind of
Yep.
shit, that's fine. Break those. But these are weapons specifically designed for killing things. They would not break after being used to kill things. If you're trying to
No,
cut down a tree with them, that's understandable. But if you're using these things to fight in the intended purpose, logically they should not break as quickly as they do, especially not into tiny dust particles like they do in the game. That's just my
I
opinion
think
on it.
that I think that part of the problem with the weapon degradation system is just how quickly things will break. Like
Right, exactly.
yeah, it'll take you like 5 hits, and then the shit shatters. Like that's just too way too fast. Like it should be like 3 times longer than that,
Right.
and then it
And that's
wouldn't
what I'm
be
saying about
nearly
like the
so
wood
bad.
clubs or something. Wooden clubs, if you're bashing skulls around with them, yeah, that's not going to stay together all that well. But like a sword or a hammer or whatever specifically designed to hit things hard shouldn't break that quickly, if at all.
Yeah,
And
no,
I know,
I
okay,
agree
I
with
know
you.
there's a lot of people who
I
are like, oh, they have to break that quickly, and I get, and I don't actually, I kind of actually really enjoy the idea of having to frantically bounce around between different weapon styles because I think that would be a cool experience. But I want that to be an option I have, not that I have to because my shit broke in my hand.
yeah, I'm very torn on this because on the one hand, like from a philosophical, like when I'm thinking about it, I'm like this is kind of dumb, but when you're actually playing it, it actually works pretty well because you find weapons all the time. Like there are weapons everywhere, and every time you kill something they drop their weapon. It's not like shit
Right,
just goes
that's why I'm
away.
saying it doesn't matter as much as it
Yeah,
probably
like
could,
it's
but
not as big a deal as it sounds. Like it's like, oh, your weapon breaks after like 5 or 6 hits. It's like, yeah, that sucks. But then you find 5 more of them, like
yeah,
right in front of you.
I just and again, I haven't actually played this game, so I don't know if this is true or not. But and I'm avoiding all or as much about it as I can. But from my understanding, just from what it seems like it would be playing the game, if I went through this, take for Skyrim for example, if I
Hmm.
went through the side quest dungeon or whatever, and I got like one of those gods weapons, and that shit broke on me, I'd be a little peeved because I went through all this effort to find what is essentially a disposable item.
Yeah.
I don't want
No,
that.
yeah. I
I want those kind of things to feel like now that I have it, I'm better for it.
I agree with you. I think that another way that they could have made this better, yeah, like there could be like a few, like I'm talking like a handful, like 5 or 6, like legendary weapons,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
those don't break. That's what I think that it should be. That's like the one thing I haven't gotten that far in the game, but knowing what you've just told me, that I agree with you that it's like there should be a few weapons that just point like period do not break. You can just use them to your heart's content.
Right. And okay,
Like,
but to be clear, I don't want just like 3 that don't break because that brings me to the same thing like all RPGs do where there is a definitively best item. I just want some things, like maybe the last 20% once you get to high enough tier, make them hard to find, but don't make them like, fucking Excalibur or something. Just make them, a higher meta or a higher metal of weapon that doesn't break because it shouldn't. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Or
I don't necessarily require them to be special. I just want it to be worth the effort of getting them.
yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah. Other than that, the only other thing I would complain about about with this game, it's a relatively minor complaint. The weapon system is an issue at times, but the other thing that kind of bothers me is that it doesn't really feel like a Zelda game at times. Like you're not wearing the hero's attire. As a matter of fact, you're wearing like clothes that you find. Like there is an armor system.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, you gotta, yeah, yeah,
you find shit and then you put it on and it's like, oh, this is better, and then you're wearing some new piece of armor or whatever the fuck. I mean it's pretty basic as far as armor systems go. It's literally just pants, shirt, and hat. Like that's all
yeah,
there is to it.
yeah.
Which is fine. It doesn't need to be complicated.
I actually
But the
kind of
only
prefer it that way, so I don't have to worry about what level
Yeah,
of glove I'm wearing or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Uh, and I like the armor system. I think it's cool, and I've always liked the feeling of of having a noticeable visual
Yeah,
improvement
having
as
visual improvement as you grow makes it seem
yeah.
like you're actually
I
getting better.
exactly. I've always liked that, but the thing about a Zelda game is I kind of like the iconic, classic green outfit. I don't really like that I'm putting on all of these pieces of armor because I don't feel like Link when I'm playing this game. Like I feel like I'm playing this spectacular, amazing game with a great armor system and this amazing world and this fantastic combat. But I don't really feel like I'm playing as Link. I feel like I'm playing as some guy who kind of looks like Link, who's wearing all kinds of weird ass shit. Like I don't know. It's a minor thing. It's really not a big deal, and I shouldn't even be worried about it. But it does kind of bother me a little bit because it doesn't feel right. Like I don't feel like my
Mm.
character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you actually kind of bring up a good point about what a Zelda game is, because on the one hand, the point of playing as Link is that it's supposed to be the surrogate character for the hero, for you, the nameless person.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, Link is the hero. He's the character. So it's kind of like you're not playing as Link in this Zelda game, but maybe you should be. I kind of get what you're saying. Like
Yeah. I don't
it doesn't
know.
feel, even though he's clearly not meant to be. He's not okay. Well, I mean, he does, but by accident. He's meant to represent you, the adventurer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
by virtue of you not playing as the familiar nameless guy, you're playing as a different nameless guy, and that's weird for some reason.
Yes, it is like that. And like this is such a weird thing to complain about because it doesn't
No, I'm
matter, right?
totally
It
with you though.
doesn't
I totally get it.
like it doesn't matter. It totally doesn't matter. But in my heart, it kind of bothers me. It kind of throws me off to be like this isn't a Zelda game. Like it doesn't
I also
feel like
really
a
like
Zelda
Link's
game.
costume, just as a point of interest.
Yeah, actually, so do I. It's so simple. It's so simple and elegant, and it's well put together. And I've always liked Link's outfit. There's a reason that it's lasted so long. It's iconic, and you don't really get that in this game. And that, I mean,
Well, you
maybe
can
there
get it
is.
actually,
You
from what I
can get
hear.
it. So okay, fine, but you don't have it for the majority of the game,
No.
and that's a problem for me. Like that was like a big thing in other games where you'd start out in some weird fucking outfit, and then at some point in the game, usually in the first couple of hours, you would get the outfit.
Yeah. Well, like in Wind Waker, you actually start out in that weird blue lobster shirt, and then you
Yeah, yeah,
get the
yeah.
tunic. And when you get the tunic and the hat, that's like really symbolic of your adventure begins now.
Exactly. That's you completely understand what I'm saying, and the same is true with Twilight Princess,
Oh
and the
yeah, it
same is
was. Well, I
true.
forgot you had like peasant clothes in the beginning of
Yeah,
that
you
one.
had peasant clothes, exactly. And the same is true, I think, to a certain. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, that's not true. I was going to say Ocarina of Time, but
No, you
actually,
you
that's not
actually have
correct.
the tunic in that one right away.
Oh, but it is true. It is true of Skyward Sword, where you start at the game and you don't
Ah,
have the
yes,
hero's
yes, yes, yes,
tunic.
yes, yes.
And like I know it's such a petty thing, but I would have liked that. If I would have liked it if there was some way to incorporate that into this
Okay,
game while
how about this?
somehow.
Would you have appreciated it more if your bear costume was the tunic and your armor stuff went on top of it?
Actually, yes, I would have liked
Okay,
that. I would be
because
okay with that.
that
I
just brings to mind like the underwater suit from Twilight Princess, where it was basically the tunic except with like fish stuff on it. I mean, it was
Actually,
blue.
what
It was a different costume entirely, but it basically
th-
looks like
this
it.
this isn't the best example, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. I'm thinking something akin to the armor that you progressively get in Jack 3.
Oh, where you
You
just
know
kind
how
of click stuff to you, but it's the same
yeah, where you
costume
just
from the start.
yeah, it's this yeah, like you get a costume at the beginning and then like as you progress throughout the game, it's like, here Jack, have this piece of armor and then you like click it to your
Yeah,
elbow or you click it
but
to
I
your
mean,
chest.
but you actually want to be
But
able to swap them out, but you want like the
exactly. But
costume underneath.
in this case, I would want it to be like, okay, here's a bronze chess piece, silver chess piece, this one, or something more
Yeah,
complicated than
Hylian
that.
plates or something.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Here's a Hylian plate. Here's whatever the fuck. Like I think that would have worked better for me because that way I still feel like the hero, but I still get the armor system that I really like, and I still get that visual progression that I also really like. So it's a tricky thing for me, but I am a little bit not liking that about the game.
Well,
But even so,
I am in 100% agreement because aesthetic competence is important to me, and
me too.
that's the kind of thing that I would really appreciate because I actually really love alternate costumes, but I would still like to have started with the tunic.
See, it's funny you say that because I typically don't like alternate costumes. Like when I'm playing games I guess the best example I could think of would be like Assassin's Creed. You know how you can like dye your clothes different colors?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now I'm wearing, off,
Oh, I never did
green.
that. I never
Well,
did
see,
that.
I would do that, and I would only keep it on for like 20 minutes and be like, that was fun, and then I'll
Oh,
switch
well,
back to the
generally
white.
what happens when there's alternate costume options is I just bounce sideways back and forth between all of them because I always get
Yeah.
bored of the alternate ones. But like, okay, think of like I'm talking like Assassin's Creed 2, where you got to put on Ezio or Altair's robe.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did
The armor of
that. That's what I'm
Altair. Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Yeah, but like, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the point is that I agree with you that I would have really enjoyed being Link in a Zelda game instead of being some guy from in a Zelda game.
Yeah, exactly. You understand what I'm saying here. So that's about it for me. I'm not gonna like give it a review number yet because I want to actually finish the game, and I haven't even gotten to the first dungeon yet. So I'm like, it's just taking a while. But I'm really, really liking it. It's so far one of my favorite Zelda games ever. Probably my favorite Zelda game. Like just from a gameplay perspective, it's so well done.
Can I
And
actually ask you one more question about it before we
sure,
end?
no, it's
I
fine. Yeah.
understand that there's a lot of amiibo stuff. Have you done any of that?
I actually haven't done any of it. I do have the wolf amiibo, but I don't have any of the other ones. So
Okay.
I was thinking about doing it, but I haven't done it yet. I
Because I
was
know
just
like the Smash Bros. Zelda and the Twilight Sword, or the Twilight Princess Wolf one and the Toon Link one and the Retro Link one, all those different versions of the Zelda stuff all get you different things, and a couple of them are like different tunics from the various
oh
Zelda games.
really?
You didn't
Ooh, I
know
should do
that?
that.
Yeah,
No, I didn't. I haven't done it.
you can get like original NES Link tunic colors. It's not
Ooh, that's neat.
pixely, but it's the colors like the green and like the brown hair thing, and you can get that.
Ah,
Yeah, you can get those in the game. So if you were
that's
interested,
neat.
that's how you get those.
I might do that actually. I do have a few of those amiibos. I have Toon Link, I have the Wolf one, and I have the original Link
The
Smash
Smash that
Bros.
one also does something. All of
This
them do
yeah,
something.
I don't know. I don't remember if I have Zelda. I might. I'm not sure.
See, this is kind of what bothers me though. Those are all entirely aesthetic things, from my understanding. I don't know if they're actually good armors or not, but it bothers me that those kind of things are linked to amiibo because there's like 11 different amiibo
Uh
things that you can only get the amiibos.
if what you were saying was true and there's just colors, colors have no like gameplay relevance. It's just purely aesthetic. Like there's you can just change your colors willy-nilly and it doesn't affect anything at all. So,
Well,
I
I don't
would
know. I just saw like a list of what the amiibos do, and I saw the picture of whatever they unlocked, and that was usually something to do with there
mm.
was varying tunics and stuff.
Anyway, so let's do WhoDaWin.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick someone from Justice League because I really really liked that Justice League trailer. I'm trying. I want to say Aquaman, but I think I picked Aquaman
You
recently.
did for the last one, I
Yeah.
think.
But Flash is too overpowered, so I'm gonna go with Batfleck.
Batfleck, okay.
Batfleck, yep.
Let's see. Would you believe me if I told you I just got Zelda?
Really? That's great. That's so convenient. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Should we
this is
stipulate?
What?
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, should we stipulate that you have to choose which Zelda before we start?
Okay, I gotta
Because,
look at the challenge, and I can guarantee you it does not matter.
Oh, okay.
Because the question, or the challenge is most active sex life, and not one Zelda in history has gotten laid.
That's correct.
Like, at all.
Batman,
on the other hand,
he gets around quite a bit, actually. So I mean, shit. We've got him and Batgirl. We've got him and Talia.
And Vicky,
we've got Vicky.
And
We've got Catwoman. We've got Poison Ivy to a certain extent.
I guess. All right, so that was not a fair contest, really, at all.
I'm still really, really mad that he and Batgirl got together in Killing Joke.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
I really, really don't like that. Still.
Sorry that bothers you still. Okay. So, that's one for you. Pick somebody else.
Yes. Okay. I want to say... Actually, Hawkeye. I picked Hawkeye.
Okay. I got a movie Hawkeye or a comic book Hawkeye?
Oh, movie Hawkeye.
Okay.
I don't know enough about comic book Hawkeye to be able to talk about him. I haven't read any of the Marvel, like, Avengers comics. I've read a few of the Justice League comics, but I haven't done any Marvel ones. So.
Okay. I got Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
Oh, great.
A case example in over-design.
I actually knew that. I remember him being, like, ridiculously stupid. I want to look it up really quick.
Yeah, please do, because the contest demands that you know what he looks like.
Eight Fighter.
Soul Calibur.
Oh, that makes more sense. You just said it, too. Soul Calibur. Let's just...
Yeah, it's really important that you know what he looks like for this.
Okay. Oh my god, he looks so awesome.
Busy. He looks busy. That's the word for it.
Is a good word for it.
Yeah. Well, the contest is best character design based on look.
Who did I pick? Oh, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, who wears a leather onesie, basically.
Well, I mean, like, it depends on your version. I mean, I think in
well, it depends on your version of Nightmare too.
That's true. But, like, in Age of Ultron, he had a really cool, like, little purple outfit thing, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, I guess.
And his outfits are at least simple, unlike this fucker.
Okay, I actually, unironically, think Nightmare looks like a badass. But mostly because he's absurdly over-designed. Because he's just got spikes, and he looks like a Hot Topic store. Like, he's just got shit everywhere. Like old Hot Topic, not new Hot Topic, old Hot Topic.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just say Nightmare. I like Nightmare. He
yeah. Cool. All right, cool. So tiebreaker round.
I'm ready. Oh wait, I gotta pick someone. Who is Batgirl? No. Yeah, Batgirl.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on then because I got the Joker.
Aw, shit! Most likely to get shot in the spine. Damn it!
No, like, I don't think I have that in here, but I might have to put it in. Alright, let's see. Alright. Oh, okay. The challenge is better enemy. I don't know how to deal with this one, though.
Okay, well, alright. That's an interesting
because
situation.
Essentially, Batman's enemy, or Batgirl has the same enemies as Batman, whose enemies is the Joker, and the Joker's enemy is Batman. So basically, it's who's cooler, Batman or the Joker?
That's not a question you can answer. There's no way
this
we
is
can
hard.
talk about that. I can't do that, man. I can't fucking do that. Okay. I guess here's what I'd say. The thing, Batgirl, Batman's enemy is the Joker.
Yeah.
Batgirl's enemy, I mean, while it is the Joker, I wouldn't say that that's, like, her enemy. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
it's
that's
not like
fair, but
like
who would you say is her enemy then?
well, that's the thing is I don't know if she really has one. I don't know enough about her to really say that she has a
Because
enemy.
okay, true that the Joker and Batman are basically the pair, but the whole Bat family's enemy is basically all the same
I mean,
to
yeah,
a pretty
you're
close
right.
extent.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And the Joker really only has one enemy, and it's really only Batman.
Yeah, yeah. You could argue that. I mean, like Joker's other enemies you could argue would be include Batgirl and the whole Bat
Right, but
family
that
and
doesn't really
whatever.
change the question. I mean, it's
No, it
basically
doesn't.
the Joker versus the entire Bat family. Unless you want to include the
Ah,
entire Batman's rogues gallery in there, but that doesn't make it any easier because there's still some
not
cool Batman
really.
villains.
I, 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 I don't know how to make this
I
decision.
don't know. I don't want to call it a tie because we're still tied. You know what?
Uh,
Let's call it a tie, and we'll just do a new tiebreaker round.
yeah, yeah. This is an impossible
This question
question.
is better
So,
left to better men. We're not equipped to deal with this question.
okay, yeah. So I'll pick someone else. So I'm just gonna pick a black cat. Black cat.
All right, I got
Yep.
Toph
All right.
from Avatar.
I know who a Toph is. Don't
Okay.
insult me.
Okay. Well, you see, I don't know, maybe you didn't hear me. I don't know.
All right, all right.
All right. If it's earthbending, you're screwed, though.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's
But
most things, you're probably screwed.
if it's most likely to fit in at an anime convention, I win. Totally.
Truth.
I'm dressed like a cat.
Obviously. Okay. I got most likely to catch them all. Um. It depends on how you go about it. Who did you pick again?
Black cat.
Okay.
Okay. I
Black
feel like
Cat is essentially just a human
yeah, with like
with
who's also very
bodacious boobage.
agile. Well, yeah, yeah, bodacious boobage and very agile and likes to flirt with men dressed as spiders.
Well, who doesn't?
Uh,
But Toph, on the other hand,
I mean, but
has
Toph has earthbending, and she
yeah
can use that shit to box Pokemon in and
yeah
just throw Pokeballs and
exactly
whatever. Yeah,
exactly
no, there's no fucking way. Toph would win.
for sure for
You
sure.
win. I'll allow it.
Yay! Go me.
Yes, we did it.
And on this special occasion, our 30th episode since coming to YouTube.
Yay!
Yay! That's not normally a
Yay.
special one, but that just happened to be what it was when I looked down to see what it was. So, yay!
Woo! Okay, so that's going to be it for this week. May your princess always be in the right castle. May the force be with you. See you, Space Cowboys.